Quarantine Questions. This is a new podcast series. It's a short form podcast series where we're just going to be answering silly questions. We've all been holed up inside for what seems like an eternity now. Have you contemplated shaving your head yet?
Yes. Dude,
Yes.
I miss my barber.
This is Josh, by the way. He's been on a
Sean.
couple of podcasts before. You were on Game of Thrones twice and Steak Off and a couple other silly ones. But these quarantine questions, they're going to run about 10, 15 minutes, just depends on the topic. Today's topic, who really was the worst in Tiger King?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Tiger King. Everybody loves Tiger King, whether they want to admit it or not. This is being recorded on Saturday, April 11th. Tomorrow, April 12th, the after show is coming to Netflix. This is releasing on Monday. So if you're real invested in Tiger King, then you will have watched the after show by now. I made a chart, Josh.
Okay.
These are the characters we'll be debating. There's Jeff Lowe down there, Doc Antle, Carol Baskins, and Joe Exotic. If you look in the middle, they all suck. They all suck.
Okay.
Now, we are determining to what level on the suck spectrum, who's the highest on the suck spectrum. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to say something about Tiger King. There was a guy who they called the real life Tony Montana who was accused of killing a federal agent, and he's somehow
a footnote.
He's a footnote. He's seen in a good light in this show.
He chopped somebody up.
He chopped somebody up. He went to federal prison. He stuffed snakes with cocaine.
As one does.
He's a footnote. He's a footnote.
Baby stuff.
Okay. You know what? All right. 4 characters: Doc Antle, Jeff Lowe, Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin. I have arguments. I have short arguments for 2 of them. And then really the other 2 are a coin flip for me. And I think this question really depends on how you frame suck. Okay. So for my criteria, at least, I looked at how they treated the animals.
Agreed.
I looked at how they treated their employees, how they ran the establishment. And that was pretty much it. Netflix did a really good job of keeping your perceptions of these people fluid. And sometimes you like Joe, sometimes you hate Joe, sometimes you hate Carol a little less than you're supposed to hate her.
Yeah.
So I'll make the case for Doc Antle real quick being the worst. His name's Bagavon. He's a cult leader. He's manipulative. He's exploitative. He has a degree in mystical sciences.
Okay.
And he treated his employees poorly. And he's a cult leader. That's the case for Doc Antle. Any additions?
I put he objectifies women.
Yes.
I put that there. He doesn't pay them very much. He pays them $100 a week. This is one of those other things too, to where you can get into these things with everybody else as well. But for the case of Doc Antle, he just seems like he's running. One, I don't think he's the worst because out of all of them, he seems to be running the tightest ship.
He seems like he has the most normal zoo.
Yeah, and he seems to have the most level head when he talks to everybody, but that's what a cult leader wants you to think.
Yeah.
Is that they got everything under control, everything's good, don't worry about it. But the thing is I think the show is geared towards looking at the animosity between Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was geared towards. Now, I'm sure there's some dirt on Doc Antle that they could get into, and they kind of tried to get into it in the beginning with the I forget the female's name.
Oh, yeah.
The former employee.
Yeah, the former employee.
So
cockroaches all in her place.
Yeah, but I don't consider him the worst.
No, if we were to rate him on the suck spectrum, he's probably at a 4.
A 4, but that's because I think we don't have enough information.
Exactly. He's really shady. Speaking of shady, though, Jeff Lowe.
Okay.
Jeff Lowe. Okay. Extremely shady.
Yeah, he's high on the suck spectrum for me.
Really?
He's high.
He's high?
Okay. Yeah. He uses people against each other. He's a con artist for sure.
Yeah, I have
mean,
phony written down. Yeah.
Sure, he has this money, but where did he get this money? And he's using this money to buy zoos. I don't know how that's a good financial investment. Maybe he
Yeah.
knows something we don't.
Yeah. One of my notes. Does he know how to run a zoo?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just happened to own a few tigers, and he
Yeah.
went to Joe Exotic. But that's how it looked to everybody else. So I don't know.
Can we take a tangent real quick and ask how many people in Panama City own a tiger? Do you think there's somebody here that owns one?
I bet there's somebody that owns one, dude.
Just in northwest Florida, the Panhandle of Florida.
I count 3.
I would set the over under at like probably 3.5, and I would honestly take the over.
Yeah, I mean, with how people are here, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised. And Jeff Lowe's just connected to a lot of weird people.
Yeah, the whole show's connected to weird people.
Yeah, but yeah,
I don't know.
Does he set up Joe? Do you think he set up Joe?
That's another thing where he got high on my suck spectrum because he even in the documentary was like, is it framing or is it investigating? Like, I was like, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, did I say things to make it look like he did it? Sure. So yeah, I mean, you admit it and you feel good about it. Now, that could also be pinned to how bad Joe Exotic is too.
Yeah.
Because Joe Exotic could be such a bad person that they felt like they needed to do this. I don't know.
Okay. Here's where the coin flip comes in. Okay. Now, do you think Jeff Lowe's the actual worst?
I don't know if he's the worst. I think as we're discussing this, maybe I'll come to a conclusion.
And again,
but he's high on my list.
And something we talked about before we started the recording was it depends on the day, for me at least.
It depends on what information comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is all pretty fluid. Pick Joe Exotic or Carole Baskin next.
Okay. I feel like we should get into Carole Baskin because she's low-hanging fruit, and we should agree on this right now.
Okay. I just have quick bullet points on her, okay? I got like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, okay? You ready?
Okay.
A little bit more extensive a list, okay? She doesn't pay her workers fairly. They're volunteers. They work a ton of hours, 0 compensation. She keeps rescue tigers in smaller cages. She's a brainwasher. She killed her husband. She's not a cool cat. She wears too much tiger print. Her tiger sanctuary sucks, and she killed her husband.
See, here's the thing. I can't say. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, she killed her husband because the documentary told me so.
No, it's just funny to say.
It's funny to say,
but yeah.
See, like I think I'm not saying she did, and I'm not saying she did, but what I'm saying is the documentary honestly did sensationalize her.
They made her the easy target.
Yeah, and I think she was kind of duped into it.
Well, yeah, I checked out because they made it a point to show that Carole had, I don't want to say mastered, but had utilized social media in a way to rally people to her cause effectively. Yeah. And I looked at her social media feeds afterwards, and every comment to every tweet was, killed your husband, killed your husband, killed your husband.
Yeah.
And right after the documentary, they released a tweet that was like, we wouldn't have done the documentary knowing how they would paint a light on Big Cat Rescue or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, what's up?
No, obviously it's like, it's super entertaining to watch like Joe Exotic hate Carole Baskin and what seems she has done being shady. And I mean, I hate her husband, but he's not on this list.
Freaking simp.
Yeah, he's just a simp all the way through. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, she's hypocritical about caging of tigers. Like, you can clearly see she's caging tigers when she says not to.
Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, not paying her workers when, like, Joe Exotic's at least paying his workers.
In Walmart meat.
In Walmart expired meat.
That is so disgusting.
But
yeah, Carole Baskin's not my most sucky. She's not it for me. She's not.
Like I said, low-hanging fruit.
I think it's Joe Exotic.
You think it's Joe Exotic, dude?
I think it's Joe Exotic.
Okay.
Let me make the case.
Let's get that.
Okay. So whenever the documentary closes, they do a good job of showing clips of what he used to be and how he used to care for the animals, and then you obviously see him unraveling throughout the documentary.
Sure.
And did his care for the tigers and his love of the tigers erode over time? Possibly.
I think he was honest about that too.
It appears that way, yeah, and he seems pretty candid about that. Now, Joe Exotic is a great salesman. He has a great voice.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how he just took like a band of misfits together, and they kind of created their own thing together. He ran for president. Totally forgot that I saw him on a ballot in 2016. But he just, especially in the later episodes of the documentary, the inviting, Travis, was that his name? Travis's
his mom
to the funeral. That was brutal.
That was terrible. And then talking about his testicles.
The golden nuggets, man. Golden nuggets. Inviting the ex's mom to the funeral. He just openly talking about wanting to kill a person over and over again. Which kind of casts a bad light on him. It's like saying, oh man, I really want to smoke meth, and then getting caught with meth. And it's like, no,
you're thinking about it all wrong.
No.
And then like, he definitely burned down
his own thing and then tried to pin the blame on somebody else.
Yeah.
He just, because he's such a good salesman, he's
charismatic.
Good at playing the facade. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And this decision between him and Carol came down to is being, I guess, known for being a murderer or trying to attempt somebody to murder someone else, which is worse.
Okay.
And I think, honestly, I hate to say it because I think there's something fishy with Carol. There seems to be more evidence convicting Joe of plotting the murder for hire. And I think he's just a victim of his own stupidity and his own arrogance, thinking that he could actually get away with it.
Yeah, and I think clearly he was delusional and he was trying to find a way out.
Yeah.
Something.
And who knows what his after show tomorrow says, but I think it'll it won't say anything that's too new.
Now, I guess if we can do like minor bullet points as to how like why these people there's some good things about these people.
Yeah.
So like Joe Exotic clearly had some charisma to where one of his employees had their arm ripped off by a tiger and chose to come back.
Can I just say something about that entire sequence?
Yeah.
My favorite part about that is her arm gets, Saf, I think her name was.
Yeah.
Her arm gets ripped off. And, that's whenever he walks into the gift shop and he does the whole, I'll never financially recover from this. My favorite part is he took the time to put on a paramedic jacket.
Oh, my God.
Then go tell the people.
That was ridiculous.
I was dying. That was the funniest thing. Not the arm.
Yeah.
just putting on the jacket. Yeah.
I love the memes that were associated with that, especially the kid like sitting there just like eating like a popsicle as he's telling him like maybe we'll reimburse you, but somebody had their arm bit off.
Maybe a rain check. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he had some charisma. Like people actually believed in his cause at first. I think at first he had a legitimate cause as to what he was doing.
Well, he did it in honor of his. I want to say it was his late brother who died in a car accident or something like that.
Yeah. And like his mission at first was actually legitimately to help tigers.
Yeah.
But I think his search for fame and his search for, and he was delusional about any of his arguments he had with anybody else.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make him that great of a person. Doc Antle, like I said, he runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
And the people love him. Clearly, all of them will sleep with him. So
it's almost like they worship him.
Who knows? Culty. I don't know, man. And then Carol Baskin. Obviously, if you can have that many volunteers and like you built a good social media presence, clearly you've had like a good impact on people.
Yeah.
So maybe your message was good. I don't know.
Tougher argument.
Jeff Lowe, he's my worst. I've
I knew
chosen,
it.
dude.
I
You've
knew it.
chosen.
I knew it. Make the case. Make the case.
Because I don't have anything good to
Fan.
say about him. He showed up, dude.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
He showed up. He practically, I mean, he funneled all his money into there to where Joe Exotic pretty much had no capital left in there. Like, I guess his shares were lower. And then practically stole the zoo, practically framed Joe. Now, don't get me wrong. Joe wronged him. Joe, what was it?
Embezzled.
Embezzled his money.
He used zoo funds for his campaign.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. And, I mean, he's a felon. I forgot what he was doing in Vegas. He kept bringing his tigers everywhere, so he's not a good tiger person.
Yeah, that's an interesting argument. We have the other three have cared for the animals at some point in time. Jeff Lowe's just trying to make a quick buck.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I mean, that and like I think it's a masculinity thing or it's like a mating thing with females as to why he has tigers.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick because Jeff Lowe, I came out of the documentary thinking he sucks the most. But I just had more of a case for Joe. Even though
he's a good, yeah.
Even though I kind of want to side, and his voice is fantastic.
Joe, his charisma gets me, dude.
I'm kind of upset he's not a Floridian. Like he's from Oklahoma. He's the perfect Florida man.
He is Florida man.
He is
spirit.
He is the epitome of Florida man. But he's locked up in Florida, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
We'll get the research department on that. Anything else?
Honorable mention, James Garretson.
Dude.
He's a snake. Dude who rode the
jet ski.
The jet ski at the end.
Jet ski. The
to the Hue music. To the Who music. Sorry, not Hugh. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like him. He's a snake. He's just a snitch. And
only cared about himself, trying to save his butt.
And he just talks. He doesn't.
Well, yeah, and he didn't seem like the sharpest tool in the shed either.
No, like he was just trying to find a way out because he was sleazy and he was always trying to get into something. Ran strip clubs. Apparently, like stole cars. Like he was selling stolen cars, I guess, to people.
Oh yeah, because there was a whole thing of, I sold it to him, I didn't know it was stolen, something like that.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's an honorable mention for me.
Honorable mention. Yeah, the only I think everybody has. I feel really bad for the campaign manager, and
he's not a bad person though by any means.
No, he's just an innocent guy that got wrapped up.
Just trying to help.
Yeah, and then well, it was the guy that wore the sunglasses. I think he's just like he found the job on Craigslist, and it just seemed like he kept getting worse off every episode. He kept getting more and more sad.
Is this the guy that was cursing in the beginning about Doc Antle?
Probably.
He was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I liked him. And then he was like high in the end. He laid on his bed. Joe Exotic was convicted.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
I think we made the cases pretty well.
Yep. Jeff Lowe, dude. I hope you go to prison.
He probably will. There's no way these people aren't. These guys are too stupid not to go to prison.
That's what the documentary made him look like, though. To be fair.
No, that's what they are. Yeah.
All right.